Yo guys, so this video is long overdue, and I originally planned to like actually film like my hands on the box using the controller, and like I think I used back when I got the box in the beginning, I was streaming. I think I used to have the webcam pointed at it a couple times, but that was about it. But now I'm just like, what matters more? Me dynamically filming this controller and trying to sell it to you guys, or my opinions on the thing? I'm not just some guy who buys shit to like use it for a week and review it. You know what I mean? When I buy something, it's because I need it and I use it like crazy until it breaks. Um, but obviously, I'm in love with the controller, so I'm extremely biased. And just the whole idea of different controllers with different ergonomics and variety, and trying to learn to be a gamer no matter what your input device is, and keeping your hands healthy by not abusing a certain way. Because any overused mechanical fucking patterns that get built into your brain, like stressing out your body and like a human body in a mechanical way doesn't make any sense. I don't think you should do that with squatting. I don't think you should do that with anything really. I don't care what it is, how functional it is, strongman, fucking yoga. I feel like, well, I mean, maybe if you're smart, you could definitely abuse yoga, and it would probably have only a positive effect on your body. But you know what I mean. Even yoga could be taken too far and too repetitive. But yeah, like especially with the hands, it's like they can be when you're putting your mind to something and you're just like focused on getting better at something, and your hands are an obstacle. You can easily like thrash through a lot of the health of your hands. You know what I'm saying? You could put a lot of wear and tear on them without really realizing it. And then you're stuck. It's like, do I keep going with the thing I've invested so much time into? How do I change it up? How do I build up the courage and the willpower to actually like really thoroughly take care of my hands and never give up on that task? You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff. And, the same thing goes for like fitness and health and all that. Same ideas apply, really, right? But anyways, obviously I highly recommend this controller, not just for Smash Bros. Players. I don't even know how many hours I've dumped into freaking playing various games on this controller, and almost all of them are like not only more fun than they are with like a standard Super Nintendo style controller or an Xbox style controller or PlayStation style controller. Something with D-pad, something with joysticks, something with handles, something without handles but that button array. I love those controllers as much as the next guy. Like right now, if someone handed me a super fast Super Nintendo controller that I could just plug into my USB port in, and it like actually had no input lag, and I could speed run games and from the Super Nintendo era, I'd be all about it. You know what I mean? But that, for some reason, just learning this device and like getting to relearn gaming and getting to play all these new games that have come out, but they're like totally retro style with modern I don't even know how to say that. Amenities. Amenities. All that whole journey has been like super fun. And guess what? It also works super good for Smash Bros. So that's just a plus, you know. The only thing I'm really worried about right now is like how FrameMakers is going to go with this thing. I'm assuming even if it had problems where it like needs angles, sort of like Rivals or Smash Ultimate or something, I feel like FrameMakers is dope enough of a game that they would make some sort of little firmware update or something for it, so you could boot into like a FrameMakers controller emulator firmware thingy or whatever the fuck you would call that shit. Or maybe even the Rivals one works. No, I don't know. Maybe if it was adjust, or it might just work with keyboard. Like I think Rushdown Revolt is fully playable with. I don't know if the extra angles on a joystick help on that game at all. Multiverses plays pretty well on here. It's got kind of that Ultimate feel where it's like you have to relearn how you move on the platform fighter because there's no wave dashing and there's not really like an air dash. And the dash dance isn't quite the same. Not used in the same way. And it feels different. In terms of like how you go in. You can't always just be facing your opponent for free like you can with a wave dash, you know? And like some games don't have settings for like walking slowly. I don't even know if you can do them like multiverses. I don't even know if you could do that on a controller because I haven't played it on controller yet. But yeah, this thing's dope. 10 out of 10. Would buy again. I'd even recommend these controllers I don't own yet that I'm going to try to get as soon as I can. These are just prizes to look forward to for now for me. This thing's never available and I get pissed off. Because it's like the best product. It's got the best price and like some of the best support. Some of the best build design. At least it seems like it. But you can't buy it. That's why I get pissed off every time I talk about that. This thing seems well supported and has a good Discord already, so I'd say buy one of them, whatever one suits your fancy, and then I mean the Smashbox is pretty good too. Just don't mod it. Or don't do a poor job of modding it, because you could fuck up just by unplugging some of the buttons. You can like fuck that thing up so it stops working with the software of the computer and you can't map it anymore, and it won't even, it'll like pick it up once and then it just stop picking it up. So I don't know how to fix it. It actually wouldn't be that costly, I don't think, to buy like the internals of a new Smashbox and just swap it all. It probably wouldn't even be that hard either, because you'd just be like opening it up with some screws and then unplugging the mother or the little circuit board from the buttons, popping out the buttons, popping everything, you know, the new circuit board and everything back in. There's probably even like similar videos on redoing the whole wiring and the circuit board part of these box controllers already. I think I've already watched some. But you never know. Sometimes there's people who just like did exactly what you did. Yeah, but I feel like these more people in the world should give these controllers a shot, because it's like, I had fun learning keyboard. I had fun learning the Azeron keypad. I had fun learning the Creed controller. Had fun learning the Elite controllers. Had fun just like playing random games like Pokemon on my little shitty wireless keyboard. And out of all those things, those are all great. Don't regret any of those, but the box has been the funnest, you know. That's my review of box and the box controllers. I'm assuming I'm going to like this one even a little bit more just because it has that extra button. We'll see. Might even like this one the most whenever I can get it. Gotta love the box. You can actually buy it. The price is a little bit premium, but you can actually buy it, so they could probably tack on another 30 bucks if they wanted to, and people would still buy this thing because you can actually buy it. It's well supported. Continuous support. I do wish they had options for buying different button layouts or maybe extra buttons. Some people like more buttons. Games like Salt and Sanctuary and Death's Gambit and a lot of these other Metroidvanias that can play on keyboard are a little bit hard to map on this. I still haven't run into a game where I couldn't figure it out. You can even like use this thing with WASD and remap shortcuts, so then like a button could be your map and a potion, but if you press them both at the same time, it could be like a magic attack or something in a Metroidvania. So you could even like remap something pretty hard. Also, like learning to be technical on this thing was pretty fun. Like just like learning combos on fighting games, and that's another thing. This is probably the best fighting game controller there is. I don't even know if it's fair, but I think it's better than the Hitbox and those layouts. I don't know why you would ever even use those. This is kind of just all that and more. You know, you get more buttons, more customizability. Works super good with like all the PC fighting games. I mean, maybe if you really, really only play fighting games, but who the hell does that? So many other fun games to play, you know? Could even like map stuff to these buttons that are right next to each other, and you can get good at pressing them both at the same time for like special moves in fighting games. So you still get that. It's almost like a cheat, like an easier way to press two buttons on the same frame. Whereas on a controller, like you might actually have to press your left trigger and your right trigger at the same time or something. I don't know. Which isn't that hard with practice either, but if you had to press, I used to try to like practice pressing a pinky. My left pinky was a heavy kick, and then like my right thumb would be a medium kick or a light kick, and then pressing those on the same frame. That's actually insanely hard. Like I could do it 9 out of 10 times on if the buttons are right next to each other, but if they're on opposite hands, it's like actually really hard. So maybe that's the only reason I could see why you wouldn't buy one of these for fighting games, but they're like the same price for the most part as a lot of those fighting game controllers. Let's look at them. How much are these things? $215, more money. These guys don't sell many of them. Oh. These guys, looks like the LBX is one of their biggest products. Maybe we won't have to worry about them like discontinuing the production of them or whatever. I want to say stop the production of them. Should be like lazy. Oh, it even has like a metal plate upgrade. You know I'm sold on these colored keycaps, but why are they so much money? Holy fuck. That's what they get you on the keycaps. That? I'm too poor for that. Hopefully we can review this thing in the frame one day. That's a fucking mouthful. How much is a fucking hitbox? Holy shit, dog. Well, Smashbox is kind of pricey. I bet this thing is pretty great if you don't mind the layout. And you don't mod it and break it. It's probably not that bad. I just hope I can swap in some new internals eventually. Otherwise, it's pretty much worthless. I don't even think it's that much for that shit. Yeah, but this shit is pricey, bro. And you look at, you only get this many buttons, and it's like, I don't even know if this has a keyboard mode. And even if it does, it's going to be less compatible with games with a lot of controls, so I just feel like these are inferior controllers. I don't even like where the hands are positioned. I like having my hands like flat right out in front of me, just chilling, you know? Sometimes it just almost feels like you're not even doing anything. Basically, my hands only get sore after like 2 hours of like hard grinding a fighting game. That's about the only thing that'll make my hands and wrists a little sore, and it goes away really fast, so I've been using this thing like crazy, or these box controllers like crazy the last year and a half, so it's like I could pretty much safely say that you could play hella games on these things and it's going to be better for your hands than a controller will. Especially if you're playing like competitive controller games. Like casual controller games, you could probably play those like your entire fucking life and it won't do that much for your hands, but if you're playing like it's sweaty shit all the time, or like you're a speedrunner for a controller game, or like a pro level player of a shooting game or some shit, that shit will beat your hands up. Alright, what was I looking at here? Smashbox. It might be in the merch or the some sort of store. I feel like this thing is good enough that it would be worth like $60 or something to replace the buttons. If I can do that. Oh, I don't know if they have it anymore though. Oh, no, I'm big fucked. They don't sell this shit no more, right? Sold out. Never gonna be in stock again. Why is it even on your page? You bastards. Is he? They're like, fuck everyone who messed up their box. You fucked. Now I might as well just burn the thing so I can forget about it. That was probably the biggest waste of money in my entire life. Besides the stupid cops. And you have to like go begging on their Discord to see if they're going to have more of these. Damn, bro. I was hoping, I was banking on this thing. Ooh, this person has the layout that I would want. Now, if they really showed you step by step how to get this guy's fucking build, that would be sick. I like the ergonomics of this one. That's closer to the design I had in mind. Well, you win some, you lose some. I was going to play games and like show off the box, but I mean, you could just watch me play Smash Bros. In any other video. The only things I really got to work on now are like my wavelands and some of my platform movement and wave landing on the platforms. And then like my edge guard game and my ledge game. If I can get those up to like the level of my combo and my neutral game, I think I'll be pretty chillin'. Got as good as I wanted to be. And, you know, I think it feels pretty possible. Like sometimes the box feels a little bit awkward when you're like learning wave dashing and you're like trying to copy the best shit you could do on controller and you're trying to do it on the box. But eventually you get used to the angles you got and you get used to the way the movement feels on the box, and it's just a matter of perfecting all the little intricacies, like the timing of your wave dash and like how you fast fall your character close to the ground and the feeling of wave dashing. I think it's pretty possible because I've gotten a lot better at wave shining in combos, multi-shining, and like actually using it at spots where it would be useful. Like wave shining on platforms to continue combos and stuff, and wave landing on it platforms to, you know, it starts to feel pretty dang possible to pull off like any controller, any of the best controller shit. You know what I mean? So that would be my opinion on it. The box controller, fire, 10 out of 10. I'd imagine I give a 10 out of 10 to the other offerings too, except for Smashbox. You guys don't have the Smashbox experience available, so 1 out of 10. Don't recommend the Smashbox. It's also overpriced. Now, the Smash experience could be pretty good, I think. If you knew some stuff. That might be a fire. Yeah, that's pretty much it though. We'll probably do another review video whenever I get my next box controller. So that's something to look forward to. Or maybe around the time Street Fighter 6 comes out or something. Could be a exciting video game packed month or some shit. Now I want to play.